Oh, hi. You got me out walking the golf course today.
There are a lot of changes coming. First and foremost, I changed the name of my channel and the look of my logo. It seemed more appropriate than what I used to have as Fun with Rafe. Secondly, there are some changes coming to my photographic life, and to really describe those, I think maybe a little bit of backstory is going to help. So our family had planned a trip to Jamaica, and I wanted something more than my point and shoot camera. There was plenty of time to go shopping for a camera, so I wasn't in any particular rush. Now it's 2016,
and I found a Canon T1i with 2 kit lenses for $200. And actually, this bag right here. And I've taken a ton of great pictures with that camera. Gave the camera a good workout, learned how to use it pretty well. And then when we did land in Jamaica, then I was already pretty familiar with how to use that camera. And it got a lot of good images. And here are a couple of examples of the images that I got.
after a lot of adventures, fast forward to 2023. Me and my mom took a trip to Southeast Alaska, and
we were on a small boat cruise, and I was getting some good pictures, but there were people around me that were getting a lot better pictures. And after sharing pictures with each other and discussing cameras and whatnot, I fell in love with the Sony RX10 Mark IV. I remember standing on the deck of the ship, and there were people saying that there were goats clear up on top of a mountain, on the side of a mountain. And I got my 55-250 out with this Canon T1i, snapped some pictures, couldn't really make anything out. Maybe a couple of fuzzy details, maybe. Otherwise, I couldn't actually see any mountain goats. But I'm sharing with this guy who was standing next to me, had this Sony, and he moved the sensor over, showed me, not the sensor, the view screen, and showed me and zoomed in on the view screen and showed me that not only were there 2 goats where I had little white puffs, but that there was also a pair of horns sticking up over the line of the ridge, and that was it for me. It sold it for me. And it wasn't 3 weeks after that trip that I went out and bought that camera. Fast forward a few more months, and I was kind of looking to replace my T1i with something a little better, something full frame. Passively looking at things, researching things, I came across another screaming deal on a Canon R6. That camera came with the 24-105 kit lens, a touchscreen. Oh my gosh, I'd never had a touchscreen before. I can't remember if the Sony has a touchscreen or not. Anyway, one of the things that I really loved about that Canon R6 is the easy way I could just walk around with it. I could just curl my fingers like that and just walk. Boom. I have a wrist strap and not a neck strap, so I would walk around with this camera on my fingers just like that, and if I needed to, could just bring it up and boom, shoot something. But, and here's the big thing, I am a budget conscious photographer. And being a budget conscious photographer, I needed access to some inexpensive third-party glass. Man, I found the guy that just fed right into everything that I wanted. And I no longer have my R6 because of this guy. Mark Wiemels, I hope I said that right. You did this. This is your fault. Showing me budget glass for Sony, budget glass for Fuji, budget glass for Nikon. I started researching all of these beautiful lenses that Mark was talking about, and he very rarely mentioned the Canon brand. And then I started digging. And I started digging some more. And Canon is jealous of their glass. And so they don't just give out their mount specifications. If I was going to improve my glass collection, it was going to cost me significantly, dearly. And I just don't have that kind of money. I'm going to give an honorable mention to Tom Colton. Yeah, he's also a factor in deciding that I wanted to go with some third-party glass, and that if I'm going to do that, I need to switch brands. I really started looking into it, and it seemed like the brand to switch to was either a Sony or a Fuji. Now, having owned a Sony already, even though it was a bridge camera with the attached lens and all that, I was familiar with the system, the menus, the layout, and the quality. Just pure plain quality. So and Fuji has some features on it that I think are really neat for some photographers, but that would be wasted on a guy like me. So I really started looking heavily at Sony, and I've decided that I'm going to get a Sony product. Whether or not the deal actually comes through is a different story, but I have decided to trade all of my Canon R gear and my Sony RX10 for a different Sony camera. And you know what? I'm going to buy some cheap glass. No. Let me rephrase that. I'm going to buy some economical glass. Need a good prime and a good zoom. And that'll take me most of the places I want to go. So until I get the whole thing sorted out, I'm going to be using my Canon T1i. I've got 4 lenses for it, the 2 kits. I've got a 24mm pancake, and I've got a 40mm pancake. And what I really love about the 24mm is that it has a focal distance, not a focal distance, but minimum focus distance of 0.16 meters. What is that? That's a little less than 6 inches, I think. I'd like to thank my friends at the Purple Sage Golf Course for allowing me to walk around like I owned the place. I did take some photographs. I set up a few scenarios, so I'm just gonna do a little roll here, and I hope you enjoy. All right, see you in a minute.
It's assignment time, and your assignment is pretty simple this week. Take whatever camera you have and take one intentional photograph every day for a week. I'll share the results of what I get in the next video.
But thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for hearing me out, ramble on a little bit, traverse the golf course for a while with me. Oh look, yeah, switchbacks. That's right. Not every golf course has switchbacks. It's good chatting with you. Ciao.